Everyone has a story. Stories have power. They help us understand each other. This is Jessop's Journal. Welcome to this episode of Jessop's Journal with the Diva himself, Mr. Jason Cozmo. Jason, it's time to sign in to Jessop's Journal. Hi guys, I'm Doug Jessop, and this is Jessop's Journal. We are here at the Metro Hall, and we are hand sanitizing, with the guys from Five Wise Hand Sanitizer. Believe it or not, they actually made me my own bottle of Jessop's Journal hand sanitizer. So how's that? Wow. With me today, Jason Cozmo.
Hi, how are you?
I'm doing excellent, otherwise known as the Diva.
The Diva.
So what's the story behind the Diva?
The Diva. I am a celebrity female impersonator.
Really?
You couldn't tell?
Oh, come on. I actually went to one of your shows, and truth be told, way long time ago, I was a country disc jockey. How's that? Okay.
Oh.
And I used to play some music for this one particular artist by the name of Dolly Parton.
Dolly Parton is my 9 to 5. She is. No, I play about 16 different famous women, celebrities.
Yeah.
But Dolly Parton's my number one. She's what pays the bills.
I got you.
It's been a minute since I've done her, obviously. I'm a little bit more Burt Reynolds right now.
Yeah, well. So how do you do that? I mean, totally serious. I mean, I'm guessing, do you shave? Or
Yeah,
yes. I'm just asking. I didn't know if you do any other stuff.
Oh, it all gets shaved and the eyebrows get glued down and the cleavage gets put on and this gets sucked in and the hips get put on and the fingernails and everything gets shaved and taped and.
So inquiring minds want to know, do you wear a corset?
Yes, I wear a corset. I wear hip pads.
Really?
The butt's real. The butt and the teeth, that's it. Everything else is fake.
Yeah.
Tights, all sorts of things. In any given show, I play 3 or 4 different characters, so there's different hip pads for each one, different fingernails, different eyelashes for each one.
Well, I noticed your show was clipping along pretty well. I mean, how in the world do you do
those? You saw the one-man Dolly show, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so that was our one-man Dolly show, and I toured with that for about 2 years before I came back to Utah. But our Viva La Diva show is all celebrity impersonations, and I close every show as Dolly, but in Act 1, I'll open the show as Bette Midler, Liza Minnelli, or Julie Andrews, Marilyn Monroe, and then I'll.
So what a costume change is like? Fast.
They're insane. They're fast.
Yeah.
They're fast. A lot of times I'll do quick changes on stage where it's a tearaway.
Oh, that's true.
Or
I
I'll
did see
go.
that one.
Yeah,
okay,
like you saw the show. It was in 4 different sets, but I wore 9 different costumes.
Oh my.
So there's lots of tearaways. I have a lot of fabulous guys and gals and friends that help with the show backstage, and but my assistant, Miss Hunter, he's like my shadow. We're like Peter Pan in the shadow.
Okay.
And he just has everything. I mean, I go upstairs and I'll have literally minutes to change my makeup, the eyebrows, the nose contour, the lips, the hips, but he has everything laid out, preset, and I just kind of stand there and he'll clip things on me and take things off and pat me down and get the hair dryer
kind of like the
out.
NASCAR pit crew, right?
Yes. Oh, totally.
Yeah.
Totally. Just a lot more fabulous.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Now, I saw there was one video that you had of all the makeup stuff. So obviously you don't, do the makeup change necessarily here, but so before the show starts, how long does it take for you to do your makeup?
Oh, everybody always asks that. I can do it in about an hour. I like to give myself about 3 hours.
Whoa.
Oh, but that's shave,
right,
glue.
The whole shebang,
you want to take your time, and that's from start to finish. That's from this to cleavage and the whole bit. So yeah, I'd much rather take my time and not be rushed.
I get it. Well, there was one group of people that I met and chatted with at the show. and one was your grandmother.
My grandma, my grandma Sherry.
Yes, and she told me that she's at every single show. You know, I think she's missed. I think your mom said I think she'd maybe missed 2, and yeah, because your mom was there, and I think it was your aunt.
My Aunt Joni, yeah, my mom.
So your grandma told me this started kind of on her patio.
Yes, it did. Well, I grew up and I did all of, I'm the oldest grandchild.
Okay.
So I would organize all my cousins to do plays and any
Yes.
kind of family get together.
Sure.
And some of them loved it and some of them were like, oh, we got to go to the Christmas party. Jason's going to make
Oh,
us dress
no.
up like an elf or something. And I did. And it was fun. And from that, I started doing community theater around Salt Lake City. But then I moved away and I worked, I was a performer at Disney for a long time. And then I started doing drag impersonations, and drag is very broad. There's lots of different types of drag, which is dressed as girl.
Okay.
And specifically I do impersonations. And I was doing these in California, and I came home to visit and showed my grandma and my mom and my family a video of me doing Lucille Ball, I Love Lucy.
I'm your vitamin
And my grandma
investment girl.
thought it was just
Are you tired,
the
run
best
down,
thing since
listless?
sliced bread.
You
So she
poop
says,
on a
next
party.
time you come to town, you have to bring
Are you
your
unpopular?
costume.
The answer
And,
to all your problems is in this little
You know,
bottle.
at first some of the family was like, oh, you know, what's he gonna do? And, But Grandma Sherry was like, nope, nope. And she had this great big patio in Magna. And because up to this point, I'd only done these shows, you know, in California and LA and stuff. So I brought it home and she called all of her friends and they all came over and I did my Lucille Ball, my Vitamin Vegemin skit, and they loved it. Well, my grandma and her friends used to go down to this little bar in Magna, and she didn't ask the owner of the bar. She told the owner
Oh, yeah, okay.
of the bar. She says, my
Okay.
grandson is doing a show in here next week, so just
La-di-da, right?
get ready. Well, we packed the place.
Yeah.
So then it kind of became a thing. Every time I would come in town to visit for Christmas or birthdays or whatever, I would do a little one-man show at this bar. Then I started working out at Piper Down. And all this time I lived in LA, and then I moved to New York where I lived, continuing to do this, and then I started to do the casino shows. So I went from like the bars to the casinos, and but yeah, my grandma, she's like, you're doing this, and we're gonna get it going. So when I moved back, I was away for 18 years,
Wow.
and I moved back 5 years ago, and we started the Viva La Diva show over at Club X, and it was really great when we started because I'd already created a following from my family and friends of the family.
Oh yeah.
So that's kind of what got us going at first, you know,
Okay.
until the word of mouth
Right.
caught on.
So where did you grow up?
I grew up in Magna, Utah.
Okay. Now I'm going to tease you a little bit about this.
Everybody teases me about Magna.
Okay, well, not about Magna, but okay. So Jason Cozmo. Now, you know, if I remember right, it's, you know, because I'm having a journal made for you from Rustico, hint, hint, nudge, nudge, wink, wink. But on them, I had them spell it C-O and then capital Z-M-O.
Yes.
Is that your given name?
That's not. My name is Jason Zambos. I'm half Greek. My dad's side of the family is Greek. And when I started doing drag in LA, a lot of the queens were like, you needed a drag name. And I just never felt it.
Yeah.
You know, and I'd grown up doing theater, so it was always theater, and then at Disneyland, so I was always Jason as such and such character.
Right.
So for the first couple of years, I was just Jason Zambos. And then when I moved to New York and I was performing all over in the clubs, they says, you need a different name. DJs can't pronounce your name. The announcers can't pronounce. I was like, okay.
Yeah.
And so I like toyed around with different names and just nothing fit. And I thought maybe it'll be a last name in this. And I came up with Cozmo. And of course people are like, oh, because drinking. No. A Cosmo is a cluster of stars. And I play a whole bunch of stars. Isn't that
Nudge,
cheesy?
nudge, wink,
Isn't
wink.
that
Okay.
cheesy?
Uh-huh.
Right? So it's a Jason and it's a whole bunch of stars. But to tie in my real last name, I spell it with a capital Z.
Okay. So Ogden's Distillery is you know, one of our underwriters, and I remember doing a story there, and they had me bottle gin, okay, and it's specifically Madame Paterini gin. And so this picture right here is of a real person
Yes.
in the, I think it was the late 1800s, in drag. And you do drag as well.
An opera singer.
An opera singer. And little factoid here, this is actually, not kidding, Brigham Young's son. Just saying. Okay. But there's a commercial that we actually featured because we did another interview with the woman that sang the opera for
Right.
that. Well, I didn't realize until we were talking off camera that you were actually in that commercial. So
I
tell
was
me
in
about that.
commercial. Well, we love Ogden's Distillery. Steve Conlon
Mm-hmm.
is actually Five Wives originally was our first sponsor and still our sponsor. They
I didn't realize
sponsor.
it. So we've got a double sponsor here.
We got a
Wow.
double
Okay.
sponsor
Very
for the
cool.
Viva La Diva show, which we love. I love that we're local, we're grassroots,
Mm-hmm.
and well, they're getting pretty big now.
Yeah.
They're getting really big.
Yeah, they got the
that
big, huge
gorgeous
new place. Wow.
building. Five husbands, and then I gave him a hard time because he did the five husbands. I said, now you got to do the five queens. And then he says, well, which five queens am I going to pick? And I says, well, I got 5 different wigs. This way, no one has to argue. But the Madame Paterini, yeah, he came out with that, and he told me the story, which was great. And we filmed a commercial at a venue here in downtown, and he said it like Prohibition time, and it was all like black and white, and then it went to color, and you saw Madame Paterini, and I play Lucille Ball Mame in that commercial,
okay.
same time period.
Okay, so now that makes sense.
And colorful, subtle.
Yeah. So, we've kind of talked, how you got into this stuff, but you've had some brushes with fame. And so here's
Brushes.
just a couple. So how in the world did you and the real Dolly Parton get together?
Well, it took a lot. I think it'd be easier to meet the Pope or somebody than it is to meet Dolly Parton.
Yeah?
Because I've met a lot of celebrities, and I've worked with quite a few, and I've met some of the celebrities that I play, which is really cool, because as a celebrity impersonator, it's great to work and perform and have the accolades, but to get the thumbs up, the stamp of approval
Yeah.
from the person you're playing, which is really, really nerve-wracking.
Oh, I gotta imagine,
is
because
really
it's like if you
nerve-wracking.
perform. I mean, I'm just thinking if you perform and they go,
Right.
it's
right.
like, oh boy.
Because for me, at least, everybody I perform, I love, I'm passionate about. So the last thing you want is to have them be like,
Yeah, right. And what was Dolly's?
well, Dolly knew about me before I met her.
Oh, okay.
I got a phone call one day. Hi, we're with Good Morning America. We're having Dolly on tomorrow, and we want to show her your picture. I was like, oh my gosh, well, what if she says I'm ugly or I don't look like her? What am I? Then I'm ruined forever, and then I just got to do, And they said, well, we can't guarantee it, but we need your
Jason,
approval.
she's Cozmo
So I did it, and
from New
she
York
thought it was
City.
her, and it
That
was
was Jason and
cool.
me.
So she knew about me, and then some of her people I've contacted, and they've contacted me. So it's pretty cool when her assistants and her costume people are following me, keeping me in check.
Yeah, oh yeah. Well, I got to think costuming because got to be really, really complicated for you. Because I mean, you are trying to figure out. Are you actually trying to replicate one of her outfits, or is it just kind of you
yes
doing
and
your
no.
thing?
From day one, I think even before I ever started doing any of the drag, I've just kind of created my own brand.
Right.
And with the celebrity impersonations, a lot of my costumes are replicas,
Oh, okay.
but they're my version of a replica. They have my fingerprint on them.
Right. And apparently your foam hip prints
Absolutely,
as well.
and that's a lot of it is the proportions.
Oh,
you know
yeah.
what I mean?
True.
And with all of these impersonations, the proportions are everything.
Yeah.
I remember the very first time when I started doing Dolly, and I went to try and buy the fake boobs online. I get on, I says, got a hold of this lady on eBay, and I says, I'm a Dolly Parton impersonator. And she says, I'm going to send you these boobs, and they're her size.
Okay.
Well, that's great, but she's like 5 foot,
Yeah.
so
And
her
how tall-
size,
how tall
and
are
I'm
you?
like 5'8".
Yeah, okay.
And then I wear 4.5-inch heels, so
Wow.
hers, you got to make everything, so
Yeah,
it's all
okay,
proportioned
proportion,
down. So she knew about me, and I'd been to Dollywood, and I hosted different things down for they do this big thing down in Dollywood every year for all the fans and whatnot. And I'd still never met her. I never met her. And then I got cast in a film called Dumplin' on Netflix.
Okay.
I was handpicked by the screenwriter. There's a scene where they have all these Dolly drag queens, and she says, we need one that's a real, true, like, Dolly impersonator. And they flew me out to Atlanta to film, and it was absolutely fabulous.
So this movie Dumpling, what was it about?
It's about a girl who, she's kind of like the underdog, and she is in beauty pageants. Her mother's played by Jennifer Aniston. I don't want to give too much away.
Okay.
It's a family film. It's for everybody, and
Okay.
it's
Is it available?
Dolly Parton music from start to finish.
It is available on Netflix now?
Netflix, yes.
Right now?
Yeah.
Okay, so, watch that, guys, just saying, okay.
Yeah,
So, so the thing filmed and everything, and you got to obviously work with Jennifer Aniston and all kinds
I
of other
got to
fun
work
stuff.
with Jennifer Aniston and all the cute teenagers that were in it, and Kathy Najimy.
Oh.
And Jennifer Aniston was really fun. She's one of the producers. She'd read the book Dumplin' and wanted to get it going because she's a huge Dolly Parton fan.
Ah, there you go.
So it was really cool to meet her too. She
Okay.
made a big thing about that.
So you didn't meet Dolly at the movie, but
No,
when
they
did
kept
you meet
thinking
her?
she was going to come in to film this segment for the ending credits, but she couldn't make it. And that's Dolly Parton when she's like, I can't make it to be in this movie right now. But then I got invited to go to the premiere at Grauman's Chinese Theater
Ooh.
in Hollywood, and to be on the red carpet with all the stars of the movie and Jennifer Aniston and Dolly Parton. It was crazy. It was really crazy. I've been in working, from Disney and doing some stuff in New York and casinos, worked with a lot of people, and being on the red carpet as the stars would come in. And I think it was raining that night, so they had we were, tented in, which made it even more loud. And every time a star would get out of their limo or whatever, the place would go crazy. But when Dolly Parton got out, it was just this, like a god. I mean, just the energy was crazy. And I know her personal assistant, and they all know me. So I saw him and, kind of waved. And I kind of hung out thinking, gosh, I just want to, say hi to her. She knows me and I know, obviously she knows of me, but I don't. This might be it. I might be meeting her. And I just kind of stood there. My mom was with me. And finally, so it all happened so quick, and someone said, oh, Dolly's coming over to see, because she went down the line and talked to everybody, and I thought, I'm never going to, get over there. And the next thing I know, her assistant or someone said, oh, Dolly will be right over to see you. And I thought, she'll be right over to see me? I'll go to her. And I thought, well, this is what, and the next thing I know, she was right there.
Yeah.
I was like, ah. And we hugged, and
Wow.
the place went crazy, and we talked, and then we turned to pose for pictures, and it was one of those moments where it happens really, really quick, and it's screaming, and we're trying to talk. And it was funny because she started to take pictures, and then pretty soon she kind of started to look me up and down and notice all the details, and she got a kick out of it, and it was fun. And then we hugged and kissed again, and it was surreal. And then we leave, and we're going into the movie, and I said to my mom, "Did you get any pictures?" And she said, "No, the security was pushing me out of the way," and I was
no.
and I was like. Stunned. I was heartbroken. We went into the movie theater, and I was like, "Oh my gosh, I didn't get a picture with her. I didn't get a picture."
Yeah, sure you met her, right?
And yeah, and I thought, "Oh my gosh, I didn't get a picture." And my mom was like, "Well, don't worry. There's all those photographers." And I'm like, "Well, they're not going to post any pictures of me. I'm a nobody. Why, all these stars are out here." And I just thought, that's that. I'm not going to get any picture. And the next morning we left to come back to Salt Lake, and it was viral, all over the world, in Europe and Australia, and our photograph has been in magazines here in the U.S., in Europe, in Australia. I had to forgive my mom because the picture did get out there.
Well, virtual fist bump. Okay,
Yes.
yeah, there you go. Wow.
It got out there, and it was crazy. It was fun.
Yeah.
And the costume I wore is a replica of something she wore in the 70s, and she noticed that
Oh, there you
right
go.
away. Yeah.
So something happened in March. It's
And
kind
it wasn't our Broadway show.
No, it wasn't your Broadway show. It's like, oh man. So tell me, how has all this COVID stuff impacted? Because I talk to a lot of entertainers, and it's a real issue, big time issue. I know we all want to be safe. We all want to do all the social distancing.
It's a real issue for everybody, but specifically, yeah. I mean, as this is what I do for a living, full time. I own and produce and direct and star in this show and pay everybody, and so this is my full-time living. We were just getting ready to do our big Broadway Diva show. March 14th and 15th was our opening, and we had pre-sold out tickets for March, April, and May.
Whoa.
For 3 different shows, 4 to 8 shows a month. And all of a sudden, they're like, we're shutting everything down. It was a nightmare. It was horrible. Not only were we not able to do the shows, obviously no income, but beyond the income, it's what I do. It's what gives me life. Yeah, it's how I make a living, but
It's part of who you are.
it's part of who I am. If I'm not performing, if I'm not being creative,
Right.
it's we're going a little nuts. It's Five Wives vodka time. And in the beginning, we thought, oh, it's going to be a month. It's going to be 2 months. We'll be up by May. We'll be up by June. And and then it was like, well, what now? What do we do now? So we decided to wait another month. So we had the health department come in, and we got the thumbs up from the health department. As long as people book into groups, if you live with the people, you've been around the people, you can come in and sit with them. Just like when you go to a restaurant,
Right.
you can sit with those people.
Okay.
But each party has to be separated by a minimum of 6
6
feet.
feet. Yeah.
So we normally would seat like 220 something people in here and pack it 4 or 8 times a month. And now we have no idea. It depends on party sizes. So if we had a whole bunch of parties of 6 and 8, we could get a lot more people in here. But if it's all parties of 2, then we have 50 people in here. So we did the one-man dolly show, thinking it's a smaller
Right.
cast, because that's been the other thing, doing 4 to 8 shows a month, 220 plus people a show. I would have on staff anywhere, just for me, not the bar, not the club, but the show, on stage and backstage, anywhere from 17 to like 23 people as far as performers and crew.
Right.
Merchandise and whatnot. So when we came back very slow, very conservatively, it was our dolly show, and it was 8 of us total. Me, my 4 fabulous dancers, and just 2 crew and merch, and that's it. And now we're slowly trying to come back. A lot of people are very scared. They're scared, absolutely. And I don't want to force anybody to come out, but it really is safe to come. I mean, we have to face masks. We can't form lines. Normally, in our show, the performer will come out and you can tip them. It's Venmo. It's cash in a basket. It's things like that. There's no standing in lines. So the little, more and more people are coming out.
Right.
Unlike, I've been to a couple of restaurants where I'm like, you'd never even know that there was anything going on. It just seems like very, very casual. And that was the other thing. Coming back and trying to open during this, I wanted to open, and I wanted to have everything feel really safe, and obviously be very safe for the patrons and the club staff and the performers, but I didn't want it to feel like doomsday.
Yeah.
I didn't want it to feel like, oh, this
Well,
is
they're coming
scary.
here to,
We're doing
they're
a show.
coming here to get entertained.
People need to escape. We need the arts. This is why people go to the movies and come to the show and come to the drag show, to escape their real life.
Right.
To escape. It's why they go to Disneyland. It's why we go to Lagoon, and everything's closed, and
Yeah.
we need that. And we are now able to provide a very safe environment to come and have a fun night out. Follow the rules. Wear your masks. Your hand sanitizer. If you're not feeling good,
Stay home.
Stay home.
The series is called Jessop's Journal, okay? And so, this is my journal. And Rustico has a hashtag that I'd like to ask everybody, to wind up our interviews. And it's kind of an esoteric question. So it's, you've been doing this for a long time and everything, and you have definitely got a legacy already kind of being built. And so this is the one where I do, definitely put you on the spot. I probably should have told you this one before, but I didn't. It's okay. He's going to get figured out. He's a performer. Okay, just saying. So.
Not right now.
Yeah. So
I'm Donnie, not Marie right now.
Okay, well, that's true. So I'm going to get in my broadcast, announcer voice. Okay. Mr. Jason Cozmo, how do you want to leave your mark?
How do I want to leave my mark? I love performing. It's who I am. And along the way, I have had so many cool experiences getting feedback from audience members. You changed my life. My son passed away, and I never thought I'd laugh, and came to your show and had such a great time. And that's what I want to do. That's what I want to continue to do is bring joy to people, help them escape, help them have a good time. That's why I'm here. That's what I want to do, and we need that. We need that. Arts are very important. Laughing is important. Escapism is very important. Quick story. We've had thousands of people come to the show here in Salt Lake City. For 2 years in a row, we had a lady celebrate her 101 birthday and her 102 birthday.
Serious?
Her name is Romaine.
Wow.
And I called her out in the audience, and I says, what's your birthday? She says, I'm 101. I says, you've lived through everything, presidents and wars and everything else, and now you're here. I might be the last thing you see. And she says, I wouldn't have it any other way. And I said, well, what's your advice? You're 101, 102 years old.
Yeah.
What's your advice for a good life? She said, have fun. Just have fun.
Yeah.
And we need to, especially now. Life is so serious. Life is so scary. We need to be safe. But we need to have fun. We need to escape. We need to love. So I hope I can continue to do that, and hopefully on a bigger scale to reach more people and bring more happiness and inspiration to people. Yeah.
Sounds good.
I hope so.
Well, Jason, I've had fun.
Yes, thank you.
And thank you for coming on Jessop's Journal. And the one thing that I always close, and I want people to remember, stories. Stories have power. They help us understand each other. With Jason Cozmo, the Diva, I'm Doug Jessop, ABC 4 News.